Welcome back to Deadscape Diaries. There's something different about the road after midnight. When the air turns heavy, the fog thickens, and the world feels smaller than it should. The radio goes quiet, the GPS stops talking, and you start to wonder if maybe you've already passed this stretch before. Most people keep driving, hoping they'll find another sign, another exit, another light in the dark. But some roads don't lead anywhere, they just loop. And if you stay on them long enough, you might see something you were never meant to find. Tonight's story follows two travelers caught on a stretch of highway that refused to end. The deeper they drive, the closer they come to the truth, and the realization that they were never alone out there. This is mile marker 187. The road to nowhere always looks the same at night. 2 lanes of cracked asphalt, white lines fading into the fog, and that steady hum of tires on the pavement that makes you start to question if you're even moving at all. Eli kept one hand on the wheel, the other around a cold cup of gas station coffee. His wife, Harper, had fallen asleep in the passenger seat hours ago. The clock on the dash blinked 2:17 a.m., or maybe it always had. They were headed south, somewhere between Memphis and the coast, trying to shave hours off their drive by taking the old state highway instead of the interstate, a mistake he'd later realize. The first time they passed mile marker 187, Harper stirred and muttered, "Didn't we already pass that one?" Eli shrugged it off. "You're half asleep. They repeat sometimes." The second time, she sat up straighter. "No, I remember the dent in the post. It's the same one." Eli slowed down, squinting through the fog. There it was again, a green sign, white letters, and that same dent like a bullet had hit it years ago. They drove another 5 miles, maybe 10. Then it showed up again. Mile marker 187. Harper's voice cracked. "Eli, how's that possible?" He didn't answer. His throat felt dry, like the air itself was stale. The radio flickered with static, just once, soft and quick, enough to make him glance at the dial. When his eyes went back to the road, something flashed in the distance. Headlights. He exhaled in relief. Finally, another car. But the lights didn't pass. They just hung there in the fog, always the same distance ahead, no matter how fast he drove. And when the fog cleared, for a heartbeat, he saw the license plate. His own. Eli pulled over. The tires hissed on the damp asphalt as the car came to a stop beside the endless black of the tree line. The fog drifted around them in slow, heavy sheets, thick enough to swallow sound. Harper clutched her seatbelt. "Don't get out. I just want to check something," he said, already reaching for the door handle. The air outside was cold and wrong. No insects, no wind, not even the faint hum of the car engine felt normal. It sounded distant, muffled, like he was underwater. He walked to the shoulder and pointed his flashlight at the sign. Mile 187. Same dent, same paint chips. The metal was damp, as if touched moments ago. When he turned back, his heart froze. Another pair of headlights was sliding out of the fog behind them. Slow, careful, matching his car's angle perfectly. "Eli," Harper called softly from inside, voice trembling. The lights stopped 30 feet back, engine idling. He raised his flashlight and squinted. Same make, same model, same license plate. And in the driver's seat was him. The other Eli sat perfectly still, one hand on the wheel, the other resting where his coffee cup should have been. His face was pale under the dim glow of the dashboard, eyes locked forward, no blink, no breath. Harper's scream snapped him out of it. The headlights from the car flared bright, blinding, and in that instant, he thought he saw someone else in the passenger seat too. Harper staring back with wide, dead eyes. Eli jumped back into the car and threw it in drive. As the tires screeched, the other engine roared too, perfectly synchronized. They tore down the road, fog whipping past in streaks of white. Harper looked back, once, only once, and whispered, "Eli, they're still behind us." And just ahead, through the haze, another sign glinted in their headlights. Mile marker 187. The speedometer needle hovered nearly 80. The road never changed, mile after mile of broken asphalt and whispering fog. No towns, no exit, no dawn. Eli's knuckles were white on the steering wheel. Harper sat rigid beside him, her voice barely a whisper. "Maybe if we stop." "No," his voice cracked. "We keep moving. There has to be an end." But deep down, he knew there wouldn't be. Not anymore. The radio came alive again. Faint static, then a voice. At first, it sounded like an emergency broadcast. And then, as it sharpened, he realized it was his own voice. "Stay on the road," it said. "Don't stop this time." Harper's hand covered her mouth. "Eli, that's..." "I hear it." He turned the volume down, but the voice kept coming, even with the radio off. Outside, the fog began to glow, not from headlights, but from something deeper, pulsing behind it. They rounded a bend, and there it was again, mile marker 187. But this one was different. The metal looked new, untouched, clean. Harper leaned forward. "Eli, look." Her words died in her throat. Ahead, parked sideways across the road, was the other car. It was wrecked, crushed against a tree. Windshield shattered, roof caved in, steam hissing from under the hood. Eli slowed to a crawl. His stomach dropped when he saw two figures inside, himself and Harper, blood on their faces, eyes open but unfocused. For a long moment, the fog went still. Then the wrecked car's headlights flickered to life, bright, blinding, and the voice came again, close now, almost in his ear. "You never left the road." The wheel jerked on its own. The car spun, tires screaming, and for just a second, Eli thought he saw himself standing on the shoulder, flashlight in hand, watching it happen all over again. When the world folded back into fog, the hum of tires returned. The clock blinked 2:17 a.m. Harper stirred beside him, half asleep. "Didn't we already pass that one?" she mumbled. Eli looked up, just in time to see the sign on the side of the road. Mile marker 187. And that was mile marker 187. Some say the stretch of highway between Memphis and the coast has no record on any state map, just a forgotten road swallowed by time. Others say it's still out there, waiting for anyone desperate enough to take the wrong exit. Maybe it's a loop, maybe it's a curse, or maybe it's what happens when the dead can't tell the difference between memory and motion. If you ever find yourself driving late, with nothing but the hum of tires and the fog pressing in, pay attention to the mile markers. If the same one keeps passing by, turn around. Or don't. Thanks for listening to Deadscape Diaries. If you enjoyed tonight's story, don't forget to leave a like, share it, and tell me what kind of horror you want next. Until next time, keep your headlights steady and your eyes on the road.